The movie starts with Elio and his aunt Olga at a restaurant. Olga, a soldier, checks the menu while Elio sits under the table. Elio is sad because he just lost his parents. A soldier tries to talk to Olga about the astronaut program, but she's not interested at that moment. Meanwhile, Elio sneaks out and enters a space exhibit. He finds a Voyager golden record and listens as it explains how Voyagers are sent to space to search for life. Olga finds him pointing at the sky and takes him home. Elio becomes obsessed with space. Every day, he tries sending signals using his helmet, but gets no reply. One night, he meets Bryce, who wants Elio to join his radio club. Bryce gives him a radio, and soon Caleb joins them. Elio starts receiving a signal, but Caleb messes it up, leading to a fight. Olga is upset and takes Elio to her office. When she leaves, Elio escapes. At the lab, scientists tell Olga they got a response from the golden record sent years ago. They suggest replying, but Olga refused and orders them to focus on analysis. After they leave, Elio sneaks in, records a reply, and sends it, causing a power outage. Olga takes him home and tries to stop his space obsession by giving him a camp flyer. Elio gets upset, saying she's not his family. At camp, Bryce and Caleb are happy to get back at Elio. That night, they dress as aliens to scare him. Elio runs, but as they chase him, a real UFO appears and freezes everything except Elio. The UFO beams him up, and an alien named O gives him a device to understand their language. They take him to the Communiverse, where leaders of different planets share ideas. The aliens think Elio is Earth's leader because he replied to their message. He plays along so he can stay. Lord Grian visits, wanting to join the Communiverse, but is rejected because he's a war general. Angry, Grian threatens to return for battle. The leaders panic and leave. Since Elio can't join them now, they plan to send him back to Earth. Elio refused and asks to talk to Grian. The aliens agree and create a clone of Elio to send to Earth, while Elio stays to prepare for meeting Grian. The next day, Aunt Olga was angry that Elio got bullied at camp and decided to take him home, not knowing it was the clone. On the way, she tried cheering him up by talking about space, but he didn't seem interested, which surprised her, though she was glad he seemed calmer. Meanwhile, Lord Grian arrived with his army to conquer the Communiverse. Elio was sent in a shuttle to speak with Grian. When he arrived, he asked to see the leader. The guards let him through, and he spoke to Grian. Using notes from the Universe Manual, Elio tried to convince Grian to find others who would welcome him since the Communiverse had rejected him. But Grian only wanted to join because that's where the greatest leaders were. Grian started to listen, but Elio mentioned his son, which led to a misunderstanding. Guards took Elio away. Olga, noticing Elio's change, talked to her colleague. They thought camp had changed him, though it had only been a day. Meanwhile, Elio was locked in a cell. Feeling helpless, he threw a skull that hit a vent, giving him an idea. He used his device to change his gravity and climbed into the vent, but fell into a pit. There, a Hylugian kid named Glorden found him and wrapped him up to comfort him. Elio used his translator and learned Glorden was Grigan's son. They talked, and Glorden helped him down. Elio got scared when he saw a Hylugian suit, but Glorden explained it was his, and Hylugians only remove their suits at great dishonor. When the alarm went off, Elio told Glorden what happened, and Glorden offered to help by being used as a bargaining chip. They escaped together and flew to the Communiverse. Elio used Glorden to make Grigan promise not to attack again. Grigan agreed, and said someone would come to pick up his son. But furious, Grigan ordered his son's suit ready so he'd never be used as leverage again. Elio and Glorden became friends, playing and sharing stories. When Grigan's ship came to get Glorden, Glorden admitted he didn't want the suit because it would trap him forever. Elio took him to O, and they made a clone. Elio showed Glorden his own clone, but felt sad seeing Aunt Olga happy with it. Still, they finished Glorden's clone, hid Glorden, and sent the clone to Grigan. At home, clone Elio helped out and hugged Aunt Olga. But Olga, sensing something was off, took a hair strand for a DNA test. The hair moved and led her to the clone, shocking her. The clone stopped her and said they needed to talk. Meanwhile, Elio gave clone Glorden to Grigan, who happily placed him in the suit and completed the rites. Grigan, thinking his son was safe, kept his promise and left with his army. The Communiverse celebrated Elio and was about to make him an ambassador when Lord Grigan shot the clone, realizing it wasn't his real son. Grigan forced Ambassador Questa to read Elio's mind and discovered where Glorden was hiding. He sent guards to capture him. Glorden saw the guards and accidentally activated the ship, which started heading toward Earth. Questa also saw in Elio's mind that he wasn't Earth's leader, just a kid. As a portal opened to send Elio home, Grigan took control of the Communiverse. Questa quickly pushed Elio into the portal, and he landed in a river on Earth. As he got out, he spotted Aunt Olga, who mistook him for the clone. When she looked closer, she realized it was really Elio and hugged him. Just then, the clone arrived and warned them that something was happening at the base. They rushed to the base where the army had found Glorden's ship. Elio convinced Olga to help, and the clone distracted the soldiers so they could get inside. They reached the ship, and Elio was shocked to see Glarden in bad shape. Olga learned that Earth's atmosphere was too cold for Glarden. Soldiers caught them, but Elio closed the ship, launched it, and they escaped into space. In space, Elio tried to reach the communiverse quickly, but debris blocked their path. Bryce picked up Elio's signal and helped him dodge the debris. When the connection was lost and the ship was damaged, people around the world joined in, guiding Elio safely. He finally activated hyperspeed and reached the communiverse. There, Grigan's army had captured the leaders. Elio arrived with Glarden, who was near death. Grigan, seeing his son like that, removed his suit for the first time and wrapped Glarden, bringing him back to health. Glarden told his father he didn't want the suit because he didn't want to be a war machine, and Grigan accepted it. Questa made Elio an ambassador for his courage. But Elio chose to return to Earth, saying it was his home. After hugging Glarden goodbye, he and Olga went back through the portal. A bright light marked their return, and the world now knew aliens existed. If you love animations and movies, please subscribe to Switch for more amazing recaps. Thanks for watching, goodbye.